Coach, looks like Dan Vladar's ready to go.
He is ready to go.
Do you like to talk about who your starters are going to be?
Not typically. I mean, it's early in the year, of course, but Dan's playing tonight. I can say that. It's as we get going. I don't think I'd be so forthcoming, but he's ready to go for sure.
And I think there was a chance you were going to see him earlier in the week. He wasn't feeling that good.
Yeah, unfortunately, he came down with a little something, but that's all in the past now, and he's ready to go.
Yeah. How you get kind of a day off here in Buffalo, just being able to use maybe the time to recharge after a training camp and kind of get everything back up and running here in the middle of this trip. Do you feel like you kind of took advantage of that and ready for tonight?
I think so. And then we had a good practice yesterday, which is something that maybe is more important for coaches. They came ready to practice, and I thought we had some good pace and good tempo to our time on the ice. And now we have an opportunity to try to get our first road win of the year. So that's what we'll look forward to doing.
When you're, I was talking to Nikita a little bit about just sort of some of the periods that you've touched on too, where you've had dominant kind of stretches.
Yeah.
Is it about kind of building on those, trying to string those types of periods together that'll inevitably lead to more success?
Yeah, you want to be consistent without a doubt in that area, and then when you have those stretches when you're playing well, you want to finish your opportunities. And then the flip side of things is you don't want to do anything that will allow your opponent to get something against you. So yes, it's continuing to build and go in the right direction, make it consistent, and finding a way to do a better job of finishing.
Does it feel like the more you have of those, the more opportunities it looks that it takes one or two of those finishes to finally come, and then maybe that kind of opens things up a little bit for your group?
Sometimes. I mean, we can do a few things differently in how we're playing offensively, but a lot of times that's what it comes down to. If you stick with things long enough, eventually things will turn for certain guys. As long as the work is always there. If the work's there, then eventually good things will happen.
While focusing on your own team, Husk, what is it about your opponent tonight that concerns you?
Lots. I mean, they have a good, young, fast, big, skilled team. So if they're given a lot of room or if they're given a lot of power play opportunities, they'll be a hard team to handle for sure.
How much does tandem help Dennis Gilbert on that back end, and how much is that whole top four, you're so strong and deep back there, help him?
Yeah, Chris in particular, no matter who he plays with, he always finds to get the best out of his partner. And I think that really is a credit to Chris and the way he plays and the way he, I guess he sets his partner up for success. So he's an excellent defender for us, and no matter who we've paired him with, he's been good in that area. Our top four guys, if you want to call them that, I don't even know if top four is the right way to talk about them, but they've been together for a while now. Mackenzie was the newest guy, last year, but I think they have an understanding of what's expected out of them now. There's a little bit more comfortability with each other, and they know we need them to be at their best in order for our team to win. That's one of the strengths of our team, along with our goaltending.
And Dennis, a classic case of a guy going home, he just wanted to play his game and not try to do too much. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. You keep it simple. I remember last year here, though, I think he had half the rink was Gilbert family. It was pretty neat to see. So hopefully that's the same tonight. And as you said, just keep it simple, play to his strengths, which are just a hard-nosed, in-your-face type game.
But if he chips in another goal,
we'll take that, no problem. Yeah.
Ryan, in a perfect world, like everything's firing on all cylinders, what does this team look like to you on the ice? Like, what's the identity?
I think it's just really a team that's hard to play against. You don't give a lot of time and space. We may not have the most physical group. We may not have the most offensive group in the league, but we have a lot of guys that are really good hockey players, and when you play the right way together, they're hard to play against because they don't leave a lot of room. And when you're creating situations like that, you're going to create some turnovers. And we have a lot of guys that have the ability to finish. It's just finding a way to get them the puck a little bit more often, and playing together and playing tight is the way we'll do that.
Coach, this early in the season, is it more when you're preparing for, of course you're going to scout the Buffalo Sabres,
yeah.
But is it more maybe what you're doing and concentrating on what you need to do than maybe more than what the Buffalo Sabres are doing to you?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you always have to give your players every bit of information they need to have success. So our job is to set them up to be successful. So they need to know what they're facing tonight, both in regards to team tendencies and individual tendencies. But without a doubt, we still spend a lot of time on our game. And we will continue to do that throughout the year because at the end of the day, that's what's important. And if we're comfortable with how we want to play the game, we feel like most nights will be just fine.
One more on Chris, if I could. Just
Yeah.
Talking to Dennis about it, he's obviously, like a lot of partners who play with Chris, really blown away about the intricacies of his game. Like he just said, he doesn't think that he's ever seen anybody with the vision to find the middle of the ice better. Can you speak to that, just how good Chris is at finding the middle of the ice and how that might help everybody else?
Yeah, I don't even think it's just finding the vision. Like, you think around the league of some great offensive players that they have just instincts as to where they know the puck's going to be. Chris is that way defensively. So he picks up seams that are open, and he knows what he has to take away based on what he's seeing. And part of that is his ability to read forechecks that are coming at him, and that's why he's able to hit the middle of the ice a fair bit. And I think his experience too, the age of him, he's been around a while, he understands how to handle pressure a lot, but a lot of it is his smarts in regards to the defensive side of the game. Like, he's a really bright defenseman, he really is.
Ryan, here's this is kind of a bigger picture question.
Yeah.
I've been asked this already in preseason, but what's been the biggest challenge for you to get this team together, back up like after last year was so
We're still working on it, and I think a lot of it is just turning the page. You know, everybody comes with a new season, and what we don't want to do is look back. We just want to make sure they're always focused on what's right in front of us, and we feel like if we can keep them in the now and in the present, then we'll give ourselves an opportunity each night.